All right. Thank you for joining us. This is the fifth of 15 of these little mini presentations throughout the next week or two. And this morning we have Lisa Weller joining us. Lisa's actually working here with us at Excelsior and TEC, and she's going to be discussing some financing options with you guys. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lisa.
Thanks, Ryan. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this beautiful day. And we're going to start out just talking about financing today. We're going to also discuss how to get financing incorporated into your business. So let me just start by telling you a little bit about myself. I've been doing financing for about 30 years at a mom and pop shop. I was the finance manager and the sales manager. And when I started, which was way back in 1990, the best rate I could get was 12% interest rate for my customers. And the majority of them got 15 to 20%. But I still had over 50% of my customers get financing. So please don't get tied up too much on the rates that are available. Just make sure that you offer financing to everyone. And why you want to do that is because we have tracked it, and our dealers have an increased revenue of anywhere from 25 to 40% on average. So it's really important that you have financing. And I know a lot of people think, oh, well, my customers will pay cash or they'll use their credit cards. But what's really happening right now is 69% of the people in the US have less than $1,000 in their savings accounts. And with the price increases we have had over the last few years, it's making it harder and harder for customers to afford our product. We have to give them another option. So why, as a business owner, why would you need to offer financing? Well, obviously, you can add on sales, be in any kind of accessories, humidifier, air purification systems, hot water heater. It's a lot easier to add on accessories when it's only a few more dollars a month in their payment, as opposed to thousands of dollars that they have to come up with. Like I said, on average, customers are spending more on their tickets, but the real main reason why you should offer financing is that it makes it easier to buy. You now have a one-stop shop. Once a customer applies for credit, they are really done shopping. So that is very important, to make sure you have that financing and making it easy for your customers to buy from you. And realistically now, almost everything is payments. You got to make payments for your phone, your streaming services. It's just, we have payments for everything monthly. And even if you buy something from Amazon, you know, if you buy like a pair of sneakers, all of a sudden, they'll not only show you the price, but they'll show you the payment too. So people are used to paying, and especially the younger generation, they just want to know, what is my monthly payment? But there are still people out there and dealers that tell me all my customers pay cash. But do they really pay cash? Are they giving you $100 bills?
Lisa, we lost your audio. Lisa, can you hear me?
Or even they would maybe borrow some
Lisa,
money. Yeah?
we lost your audio for like 20 seconds. You want to just go back to the beginning of this slide, maybe?
This one right here?
Yeah, just start at the beginning.
Okay.
We lost you.
All right. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
All your customers that I've talked to, any dealers, they say that their customers don't need financing. They all pay cash. But the problem is, they usually don't just give you $100 bills to pay for the system. They're probably borrowing it from somewhere else, maybe a relative, maybe getting a loan on their home, maybe borrowing against their 401k. Some even will use credit cards to get points on it, but they're getting it from somewhere. They're usually not just paying cash. So these are just a few examples on how to convert a customer to use financing. And I would only suggest maybe just using one, and don't fight them. If they are really adamant about you paying for cash, let it go, but try at least one option to see if they will convert over. The first one is save the cash for emergencies, especially the way our economy is right now with inflation going up. You might want to save that money for unexpected expenses. You can also suggest that even some companies now, there's not too many, may not offer financing. So if you save your credit card or your cash and use the options that you can offer to them for financing, maybe a way to get them to convert over, especially if you can offer maybe 0% financing. Same with option 3. It's the same thing. There would be no reason to take money out of a account that is making money to pay for your system. So offer them a 0% or maybe just a low payment. And then 4, it's very easy to upgrade to a better, higher efficiency system if you're looking at payments versus thousands of dollars. So these are just examples to try to talk customers into financing. Like I said, just one would be fine. Don't go down the whole list. But what I've found over the years, that if you just suggest one of these, about half the people will go, yeah, maybe I will look at those options. So I'm just going to tell you how successful dealers offer financing. First of all, it is on their website. And if you don't have a website, I would strongly advise you to get a website. And they put that right on their homepage that they offer financing. Some of them will just put a link right there and say financing, which will link them right to a credit application. Others will put specials right on that front page, 0% for however long, or I've got low payments as low as maybe $130 or something like that. That'll get somebody's interest and make sure that anyone that comes to your website knows you have financing. Then dealers also will train their technicians to make sure that when they give the customer the price, they also give a payment with it right then and there, so that the customer knows they have options. And then it's very important to make sure that every single person knows that you have financing. And the easiest way to do that is to put it in a phone greeting. I have an example of a phone greeting for you here. And you can adjust it any way that makes it comfortable for you. But as an example, you could say, hello, thanks for calling my business. We offer great financing with affordable payments. You can also say we offer 0%, so use our money, anything like that. And the real reason why you want to make sure that every customer is aware that you have financing, first of all, some customers really need your financing. They can't afford the system, and they might feel a little, not comfortable about asking for financing. So once you already get the word out, they don't have to be comfortable. They will be a little bit more relaxed. Plus, some people were not even thinking about financing. Now they're thinking about it a little more because you just mentioned it. So make sure you incorporate some kind of a financing in your greeting. So now I'm going to kind of talk about our options that we have at TEC and NEC. The first option I'm going to talk about is Wells Fargo. And a lot of people know about Wells Fargo. They're one of the top 10 banks in the United States. So the name is very well known to folks. And they're very easy to deal with. Everything is paperless. There's no monthly dealer fees. You're only going to have fees for the programs that you pick. And they have many choices when it comes to programs that you can pick from for your customer. With 80% approval rates for the credit apps that come in, it's a very strong approval rate. And money will be directly deposited into your account within 24 to 48 hours. So I would strongly suggest Wells Fargo. This is going to be for customers that have a credit score of 680 or above. They have special programs that they run during the year. And right now they have a program that goes till June 17th. And for Heil dealers, they have two programs. One is going to be 0% for 12 months, and you're going to save 3.44%. It's only a 1% fee that's going to be charged to you, which is way less than some credit card companies will charge you. And then they have the 0% for 60 months. You're going to save 3.63 if you decide to go with that program. If you're one of our special elite dealers, you have 3 programs to pick from. 2 of them have no fees at all, which is amazing. And one of them on the bottom there is 9.9% for 10 years. So you can offer a customer $133 payment on a system that runs $10,000. That's a real low payment, and there's absolutely no cost for you. So these are great programs. Wells usually will run a special program in the spring and then sometimes in the fall. They have a program for day and night also, which are the same. We have the regular program, 2 programs for dealers, and then the special elite dealers have 3 programs. So use these programs if you are set up on Wells. If you're not set up on Wells, let me know. We can get you hooked up and you can start using these rates right away. The next company I'm going to talk about is Mycroft. Mycroft is a lease-to-own company. They have absolutely no dealer fees for you to use. They will approve folks that are as low as 450 credit scores, which is really low. Wells Fargo hits our customers with a hard hit on their credit. Mycroft is a soft hit, which is nice. And let me just discuss what the lease to own is about. And I know a lot of folks are a little leery about this program, but what this helps is helps your customers, obviously, that have issues with their credit and can't get approved anywhere else. They will repo a unit if the customer doesn't pay. However, that's only 4% nationwide. They will work with your customers. They don't want to repo it. They don't want to have anything to do with it because once you repo a unit, it's worthless. So all the customers have to do, if they have to skip a payment, or maybe that payment is too high right now, as long as they contact them, they will work with them. And back on the repo part of it, Mycroft, if they have to repo it, they will ask the selling dealer. However, you can say no. There is no hard feelings. They will pay you if you do choose to go ahead and take it out, but you never have to, and they don't mind if you say no. But they do give discounts to customers that pay off early, or a 5% discount if they decide to go in on automatic withdrawal for their payment on their account. If a customer decides to pay it off in 2 years, they're going to save 40% on the interest charges that they'll have. Even if they go to the 59th payment, they only have 1 payment left, but they pay it off before that payment's due, they'll get 20% off the fees. So they will help them with these fees if they want to pay off early or if they want to go to the automatic withdrawal for their payments. And let me just explain that Mycroft will go over all this with them. You do not have to do that. You do not have to show them payments. Mycroft will show them everything. They will talk to them. They usually will approve within about 15 minutes from getting the application, and they will contact the customer about all this. But the great thing that happened last year was Wells Fargo and Mycroft joined together. What that means to you is if you are a dealer for Wells Fargo and a dealer for Mycroft, you now can join in on the integration. There's no charge to you. It's one application, one credit application that is submitted, and it goes directly to Wells Fargo first. If Wells Fargo rejects that application, now it goes to Mycroft very smoothly. There is no extra application that needs to be submitted. It's automatic. You don't have to have an uncomfortable conversation with your customers that tell them that they were denied and let me see if I can find somewhere else to go. It's automatic. So it saves you time and any uncomfortable conversations. And then what this looks like on your website is we put a page like this on your website that shows and tells the customer that they're applying for the loan, and it goes to Wells Fargo right away. Then if it doesn't get approved there, it'll just migrate right to Mycroft. Tells them a little bit about it, and then there is a link that they can apply right there. It's very nice. It's very simple. And once you are integrated, we can load that right onto your website. So how this really works, it all resides on the Spectrum platform. Once a customer applies and Wells Fargo gets the application, if they approve it, great, it goes right to your Wells Fargo portal and you would do the paperwork right then and there. If it gets denied, it falls to Mycroft. And Mycroft just started, not even a week ago, a second tier, which is great for your customers. Normally we would have tier 1 and tier 3, and that's it. Since Wells Fargo will only approve customers that are about a 680 or above credit score, Mycroft, like I said, will go all the way down to 450. However, with the tier 2, they're looking at customers will pick up what Wells won't approve at that 680 or below, all the way down to a 600 credit score. So it's in between Wells and Mycroft tier 3. So tier 2, just so you see, they're going to extend how much they'll finance. They'll finance up to $15,000 and they'll go 84 months. On the tier 3, which would be someone that is a 600 credit score or below, they're going to max out the amount financed at $10,000 and they'll go 72 months. And just remember, none of these programs cost you a dime to use. So it's really nice to have this middle range for customers. And one thing just to know with Mycroft, once they're done paying for their loan, they own the system. There is no buyout after that. They just automatically own it. The next program I'm going to talk about is FTL Finance. FTL is out of Missouri. They specialize in smaller dealers. They don't care how big or how small you are. If you're just a one-man person in your business, great, you will be approved and be able to offer financing to your customers. If you've only been in business a few days, great, they will approve you to offer financing to your customers. The issue is with Wells Fargo, they are looking for businesses that have been around at least for 2 to 3 years. FTL doesn't mind if you haven't been. So this is a great option for folks that are starting out or that are smaller and still need to offer financing to their customers. They don't require a website, but I would strongly advise every business to have a website because that's how people find you. There's no monthly dealer fees either. You're just going to be charged for the programs that you use in dealer fees. However, they have multiple programs that have no fees at all, which makes it very nice. And they will work with you. They train you. If you need assistance on working your website, they're a simple phone call away and a real person will answer. That will help you along. If you've been trained to use FTL and it's been 2-3 months before you've actually submitted a credit application, you can call them directly and they will help you through applying for that loan and getting the paperwork done. But one really nice feature that I really like with FTL is they have a proposal software. Very simple, very basic, that doesn't cost you any money to use. And I'm going to show you that here. This is how it would look to a customer when you would send out a proposal. Like I said, it's simple. There's 3 options that are available. And the first option is going to be the system that that customer is looking at. And we're going to, just for the example sake, it's $5,000. So we're going to show a payment that's a small term loan, 36 months. And then that payment would be $175.70. The second option is going to be the next better system. And for this example, I'm going to say $7,500, but I'm going to extend that term to 60 months so that the payment now is only $7 more a month. Very affordable for someone that is looking at payments. And then the third option, we're going to bump up to a $10,000 system, but we're going to extend that term 84 months so that the payment, once again, doesn't look that hard to budget in for the customer. And I can tell you what happens when you send something like this out. Majority of the customers are going to take option 2. And that will automatically increase your sales right then and there. It's a way to send this to a customer so that they can understand their options, and it looks very professional. And like I said, it doesn't cost you any money to do this. FTL also has a secondary finance company that they will use. It is Mycroft. So it will just flow once you apply at FTL. If it doesn't get approved, they call it their second look program, and they will migrate that application to Mycroft to give the customer an option of going to a lease to own program if they don't get approved through FTL. So after I've gone through these finance companies, you're thinking that, yeah, I should offer financing. Great. So how do you do that? Well, I make it super easy. All you have to do is email me a request that you're interested in financing. My email is lweller@tecmungo.com. I will talk to you about which company will work best for you. Then I will send you a link that you can apply online with that dealer application. Once that application is submitted, we will set up a training for you. Training's only about an hour on any of these companies, and they will teach you how to submit applications, how to do your paperwork online, and obviously the most important thing, get paid. I will try to get on those training sessions with you so that if you have any questions, I can assist. But if I'm not, and what I will do then is set up just a quick little meeting with you on the phone, and we will pick 3 to 5 programs that work for your business. All of these companies have multiple programs, usually anywhere from 10 to 15 different programs to pick from, which you can always use, but it can be a little cumbersome to look at all these programs and figure out which is the best one for your customer. So we'll pick 3 to 5 that are like your go-to programs. You'll use those primarily all the time, and we'll set that up for you. But if you decide down the road, I need to change a few of those, we can do that very easily. I am also available to go ahead and do any kind of training with your employees. We could do that via a Zoom meeting, a phone call, or I can visit your store. I am also available to do employee monthly meetings if you just need some pointers for your employees to offer financing. All you have to do is email me and we'll set something up. There is no charge for any of that. This is all paid for by TEC. So don't be afraid to give me a shout if you need something, or if something's not working, I'll be glad to assist you. So with that, is there any questions that anyone might have about what I've discussed today, or maybe didn't discuss?
If you have any questions, you could either type them in the question/chat box there, and I can read them out, or you can click on that little raise hand thing, and I can unmute you, and then you could ask it verbally.
Hey, Lisa, it's Talia.
Okay.
I do have a couple of questions as I was listening. For small dealers that, you know, are just very small, 1 or 2 techs, an owner, not a lot of office help, kind of what is your advice to them when they say, you know, we don't have time for financing? Like you said at the beginning, you know, dealers will give you an excuse of why they can't do it, or you know, they don't have time, their customers want to only pay in cash. But for these really small dealers, you know, what is your advice when they come to you with a little bit of resistance for offering financing?
Okay, that's really a great question. And a lot of dealers do. I realize that when you're only a few people in your company, you have a lot of hats to wear during the day. You've got a lot of work to do. But if you think of it this way, first of all, once you get used to doing financing, which is all online, it becomes very easy after doing it a few times. And you're actually leaving money on the table if you don't offer financing. Because like I had said, you can increase your sales by 25 to 40%. You can upgrade a system for a customer. I can say, I upgraded my system a couple years ago, and my utility bills have been going down ever since, $40 to $50 a month, which is very substantial. So if you can get somebody to maybe bump up to a system, that time that you'll have to invest to actually arrange the financing will pay off for you in the long run.
Okay. And then another question I have is, you talked about wells being a hard hit on your credit, but when they're integrated with Mycroft, it's a soft hit on your credit. And then FTL, you might have mentioned it. I don't know that I heard it, but if you are a smaller dealer and you don't offer wells, so you only have the option to offer Mycroft or FTL, first of all, is that an option? And second of all, does that change the credit or the fees that you're going to impose by doing that?
Okay, so Wells Fargo is a hard hit, and even when it's integrated, it will be a hard hit on their credit. Mycroft is the soft hit. FTL is a hard hit also. So if they want to integrate, the customer's only going to be hit once on their credit. If they choose not to use Wells Fargo and they want to just use Mycroft or FTL, that's fine too. There's no difference in programs if you use one company or another, or whatever size you are. Everyone gets the same programs, the same rates across the board. That answers your question there.
Can you just use Mycroft, or do you have to integrate that with Wells or FTL?
You can just use Mycroft or any one company. You don't have to integrate if you don't want to.
Okay. And does Mycroft have a requirement of a website? I know that you said for FTL it doesn't.
Right. FTL doesn't. Mycroft and Wells both require you to have a website.
Okay. And then I know you talked about credit scores for approval with Wells and Mycroft. What does that look like for FTL?
FTL, since they are with Mycroft as their second look, they're going to be looking at credit scores just like Wells Fargo does. So 680 and above. And then if that doesn't get approved through their programs, then it will fall to Mycroft, which will go all the way down to a 450.
Okay. And then one other question that I had is, on the previous slide, you were talking about setting dealers up with 3 to 5 programs if they choose to do financing. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? What does that mean?
Okay, so all the companies have multiple programs, 10 to 15 different programs, 0%, low payments, all different kinds of options for your customers. It can get very cumbersome to figure out which program will work for your business or which one you want to use with the fees that they charge. So we sit down and we just go over the different programs that will work. A lot of these programs, they have a 0% and they have 5 different choices for a 0%. It could be 0% for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24, 36, and it goes on and on. We just want to pick out 1 or 2 that you're going to use on a regular basis so that when you're showing payments or a technician's showing payments, they will just pick from the certain programs. They don't have to scroll through all these programs and figure out which one's worth. It gets very cumbersome and it's time consuming. So we're just trying to shorten the time that it takes to show customers payments.
Okay.
Thank you for your questions.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have any questions they'd like to ask? I didn't see any hand raises or anybody typing anything in, but if you have something, let us know here.
I do have one more question that I'm thinking of. There might be more, but
I think you're cut off. You're done.
So I noticed you said there's no dealer fees for Mycroft, no monthly dealer fees for FTL. is there like a typical set fee for using these financing programs? You know, what kind of costs are associated with Mycroft and FTL if they're not charging the dealers?
Okay, so none of the companies that I've shown you charge monthly fees. There are some companies out there that will charge you a fee even if you don't use their financing just by being set up with them, which none of ours have that. And just so you know, a customer can pay off early without any penalties too. But the fees that would be associated to the dealer would be just for the program that they pick. Like I had shown on the, let me go back here and I'll show you real quick. With the day and night special program on this 4776, which is 0% for 12 months. Normally, a dealer would be charged 4.4% of the amount that is financed. And that would come directly off of the proceeds that would be deposited into their account. Now with the promotion, it's only going to be 1% that's going to be taken off the amount that is financed. And let me just explain that. It's not the total purchase. If the customer puts some money down, it's just the amount that they're going to finance and that they're going to go on payments. So that's how it works with all the companies except for Mycroft, which there are no fees at all. That explain it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great.
Excellent. Any other pending questions from anyone? If not, we're going to wrap up.
I appreciate everybody coming online today.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us today, Lisa.
Yep. And if you guys do have any questions, you have my email address. Just shoot them my way and I'll get to them as soon as I can.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.